Happy wet Saturday. I'm really starting to get absolutely fed up. As you know, my Christmas spirit is sadly lacking this year. I found the Christmas tree. Or I didn't find it actually, Sue found the Christmas tree. Hiding in plain sight. It's only a little tree and it was in a cardboard box. And so at some point in my infinite wisdom, while I was doing the craft room, I must have decided to put it on the window bottom. So it was hidden by the curtain. Luckily, Eagle Eye Sue spotted it. But I have to say that apart from a little fairy sitting on top of the tree, it's not been decorated. I can't seem to drum up any Christmas spirit at all this year. Really can't. I've just been Christmas shopping with my niece. When I say Christmas shopping, I mean food. Because as of from today, I am not going near any supermarkets. We have little shops on the village. It's not a village, it's a town, but we call it the village. And I'll just get my bits and pieces from there. There's no point in getting the fresh veg and things like that and bread and stuff. I've got enough to last me for the week, which is my normal shopping. And I've got my Christmas shopping things in the freezer. Anyway, the update is that my sister-in-law, who normally hosts the Christmas dinner, but we decided, fortuitously as it appears, to go out this Christmas, went to go hiking on Monday with a little group of her friends. Went to meet them in this cafe, slipped on a big patch of ice and landed on her arm. Got home, went home because her arm was hurting. Luckily she's taken her wedding ring off because her hand was starting to swell and her arm was starting to swell. She's broken her arm. So she's going to be in a plaster cast for Christmas. My poor sister-in-law. Anyway, I've dredged the winter boots out of storage. Well, not storage, but the back of the cupboard. Because they've got good grippers on. Because I wasn't in my scooter today. I was actually sort of walking because my niece takes me in the car. But apart from that, like we said, we don't have to worry about me because I don't walk, because I can use my scooter when I'm doing my little bits of shopping on the village. It's very icy out there. I think I'm turning into a hermit. I think I'm going to stay in. Anyway, I have got some things to show you. Not a lot, so don't get excitable. I did have to get a yarn haul. I didn't have to get a yarn haul, but I've had to get a yarn haul because my niece's sweater, one of my nieces, I don't have enough yarn, so I've had to send away to Ice for another order. Never mind, my own fault. So I'm just hoping it arrives before Christmas. Otherwise she's going to... My mother was brilliant. My mother, if she didn't have time to finish anything off, she would wrap it up, needles and all, if it was still on its needles, and put an IOU in. So you got the pleasure of unwrapping a half-finished jumper, which she would then finish off after Christmas. Well, this order came from Kemp's, and it's their sale items, I think it is. This is Majestic Aran. I'm not sure whose make it is. Made in Turkey. Mixed fabric. Start again. Mixed fibres. It's 100 grams and it's just called Majestic Aran. They may still have some. It's Kemp's. They're in England. I don't know whether they ship abroad or not, I don't know. But if you're in the UK, it's perhaps not as soft as it might be. It's a little bit sort of nylon-y, although it isn't. It's 100% well, it's mixed fibre, so there could be a bit of nylon in it. I was only making it for hats and scarves, so it doesn't really matter if it's not the softest of all. In this one here, I think actually looking at this, I think I've ordered this colour before. So I may have some more upstairs to match it, which would be a nice surprise. Again, it's Majestic Aran mixed fibres, 100 grams. And it's got lilac, cream and greys. If you watch Karen Casualistic, she made me smile because I sent her some yarn and in it was a ball of purple and green, and she's going, I'm surprised that Janet's parted with this because she loves purple. I was tempted, Karen, very tempted to keep it, but I have quite a lot of purple, so I thought, don't be greedy, give it to someone else who loves purple. So I'm glad you liked it. And this one, again, it's Majestic Aran. This is really for my little grandniece because she loves anything pink, so I was hoping to get her a little hat and scarf set in that. As I say, hoping, because I've still not finished her mum's sweater, which has still only got part of the back done. So this week is going to be head down doing the knitting. That's what it's going to be this week. I plan to do this weekend. I plan not to do any housework. That's not a problem for me. No change there then. Except I must make my bed. I'm a demon for stripping the bed off and putting it all in the washing machine. And then I just don't want to make it again, and I have to really go and force myself to put the covers back on it again. I usually leave it until I've really tired and I've gone up to bed and I think, oh no, I haven't remade the bed, so it doesn't please me when that happens. So I really must go up this afternoon and make the bed, because I don't fancy going up to bed tonight and thinking, oh no, I haven't made the bed again. Never mind. Well, if you remember, my friend down the street, she gave me a ball of, it was called Katia. Beautiful. Anyway, it's now finished up as a hat. It's got a little flower and a button on it, little beanie, should say not a hat, beanie. And I actually just about managed to squeak out the tiniest neck warmer. It's only this tiny because I just had that one skein of Katia yarn. Anyway, I blocked it with an inch of its life to make it long enough, added a bit of pink on. So it is a tiny little neck warmer. So Sandra, if you're watching, it's ready. And she said, no, keep it. I said, no, it's for you. While I was at the store today, I picked up Simply Crochet, which is the spring edition, I think. Well, it's not going to be Christmas, is it? It's issue 65 of Simply Crochet. So that was there. So you know me, you know. And it came with a free gift of a pattern for a cowl in very thick yarn. I think it's supposed to be, it's probably super chunky. It's Berger de France Parisienne. So I presume it's a super chunky, because the free hook that came with it is a bamboo hook in a 12mm. That'll be going to Sue if she hasn't got one of those, because I've got one. I don't know whether it's bamboo or not, but I've definitely got a 12mm. Anyway, here we are, Simply Crochet. I mean, one of the adverts in it is for the West Yorkshire Spinners. For those of you who like the natural shades, they've brought out a range. I think it tells you further in the book how much they are. It's graphite, pewter, slate, pebble, what's that? Shale and old lace. I know a lot of you have used the West Yorkshire Spinners. I haven't, because it's mostly, well, it is wool, I think, and I can't wear it. Now those are really cute. They're not in the magazine, but they're Kinko patterns called Andre the Crochet Alpaca. Now, whilst I don't make amigurumis, I know a lot of you who do. That again is a kit from Mull and the Gang. It's the pattern's not in the book. It's a little bit too chunky for me, that one. Maybe when I was younger I would wear them that chunky. But I'm getting a little bit old and past it. Oh, here we are, made in Britain. Their West Yorkshire spinners is £10.99 for 100 grams. And it's British alpaca, Falkland, 70% Falkland wool and 30% British alpaca. Right. It seems to be on a black and white theme. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, definitely a black and white theme. Whilst they're very nice, they're not something that appeals to me. Those are just pom-poms hanging on a twig. Pom-poms hanging on a twig might be okay. These are winter warmers, but they're done in the bobble stitch, which I absolutely loathe, because you've got to get 5 loops on your hook and then draw them through the 5 loops, and I absolutely hate. That's called Angel Falls. It's a sort of a baggy cardigan, whatever you want, side to side, isn't it? Waterfall, that's it, what I'm talking about, not baggy. I bought myself 2 new CDs, but of course I can't play them for you. I got Alfie Boe and Michael Ball. If you're in the US, you may not have heard of them, but they did 2 CDs. One's called Together, the next one's called Together Again. And so I've just bought them for myself, my Christmas treat to myself, another one. But I think if you're staying home at Christmas and you're by yourself, you want some nice music, don't you? Something to eat that's pretty and things like that. You know, why not make the most of it, you know? I've been on my own now, well, apart from Christmas Day, because I always go to relatives Christmas Day. I've been on my own now for many years, and you just have to accept the fact that you are on your own and make the most of it. Because there's no point doing woe is me, I'm on my own and nobody loves me. There's no point in that at all. So what I always do every Christmas is buy myself some nice new music. I always buy myself something pretty to wear, even if I'm not going anywhere. And I do buy, you know, some Christmas spirits, as in drinking spirits, which normally through the year I really don't bother too much about, but I do. At Christmas I just like a little tipple. It's my Christmas treat, you know, you have to have a treat. And then I always get some nice biscuits in and some sweets, even though I am diabetic and don't tell anybody. But it's part of what, excuse me, part of what Christmas is all about, isn't it? You know, what's the point? Have a little party on your own, you know, if you're on your own, make the most of it. That's my idea. Blast the music out, have a biscuit, have a drink, toast to absent friends and be happy. I mean, I must admit the first year I was on my own, it was like, oh God, woe is me. Oh, it's so terrible, nobody loves me and all that. But I thought, what's the point of sitting there having a pity party? You might as well just make the most of it. It's only another day, isn't it, when all's said and done. That's the way I look at it anyway. And at least I've got a roof. Not out on the streets, am I, in my sleeping bag and freezing cold in this horrible weather. Anyway, there's Lying Around. Sort of wish somehow this amigurumi trend would go by the wayside. It's not that I don't mind people doing them. They're lovely to look at. Nice to do for some people. But they're always in my crochet books. I'm getting a bit bored now. That one's a sweater called New Wave. It's done in double knitting. It's a bit short, but it does have a little notice up saying you can make it longer if you wanted to. My days of things that stop at the waist are long over. Long over. Now this isn't a pattern, but I do think the colours on that are gorgeous. Gives you sort of inspiration, doesn't it? Well, it does me anyway, because those are my kind of colours. Real inspiration. And you can find that chevron pattern, wave pattern, whatever you want to call it, anywhere, can't you? The stitch that they're highlighting this time is the peephole chevron. And the reason why they're highlighting that is because they made a hat and scarf in it, which is really, really nice, I think. Loads of ends to sew in if you don't use rainbow wool. But I think the whole point of it is to use stripes to make it look nice, yeah. That one's called Bee My Baby, as in bee, buzzy bee, because it's like the honeycomb colours, isn't it? Too many hexagons, or whatever they are. No, they're not hexagons, are they? I don't know what they are. Circles with edges. Maybe they are. No, they're not hexagons, because hexagons have only got 5 sides. These have got 6, whatever they are. Whatever they are. It doesn't say what they're called here. Oh, it does say hexagons, but they're not, are they? Hexagons has got 5 sides, haven't they? I think so. These have definitely got 6 sides anyway. Whatever they are. I'm being pedantic at my old age. Love the colours on that. Again, once again, it's my kind of colours. Cheap and cheerful. That's me. I'm still showing off my black jacket because I still love it. I haven't worn it yet because it's been too flipping cold. This one is the competition between, well, for designers. They give them the same ball of yarn and they tell them to design 2 different things. One is just the ordinary type of triangular shawl, and the other one is those what I call a wedge of cheese. You know, it starts off as nothing and gets up to something wider, then it casts off, chains off, whatever you want to call it. That's the picture of the triangle shawl, and that's the sort of windsock, whatever you want to call it, pattern for the other one. I've never made one of those yet, actually. Now this one made me smile because do you remember the confusion over the tea cosy? There is a hat this time made in the same way. So this is a hat. The other was a tea cosy. They got the tea cosy, by the way. So that's good. And that's another one. It's not a pattern, it's just an article. But I love those colours. Even a simple granny stitch, you know, blanket or something can look nice if you choose the right colours. I just love those kind of colours. Sue goes more for the autumny kind of colours, you know, the rusts and the browns and the greens, olive greens and that. Whereas I still go for the purples and everything. That one's for tweed yarns, the new tweed yarns that are on the market at the moment. Well, in the UK, they're in the market. And that's just explaining how to put, you know, handbag clasps and how to measure them to make sure you get the right one. The only thing I would suggest is make sure if you're getting a purse clasp or a handbag clasp, make sure you get the ones with the holes in them. I didn't, and then I'm thinking, I can't get my crocheting to stay in, you know, in the clasp. I need holes to sew them to. So that was my big boo-boo. That's the mandala that's in this one. Clementine, or Clementine. I think in the song it's Clementine, isn't it? But we all say Clementine. That's next issue. Nice sweater. Reminds me of like skiing and snowflakes and everything, that type of sweater, you know, the yoke sweater. And that's it for that book. But I have also bought, but really not looked through. I'm not going to go through every one of these because there is so many. This one is called Mandalas in Crochet. It says all with large format charts, full instructions and inspirational project ideas. It's by Hafar Linson. It's a Haafner and then Linssen. So it sounds very Norwegian or Swedish or something like that. Anyway, it's called Mandalas to Crochet. And there's quite a lot in there. I can't really flick through if you can see me flicking. There's like the ordinary ones, and then there's some with bobbles, and I'm definitely not going to describe every one of them. Just hope you can see what I'm flicking through. That's pretty. Loads and loads and loads of different mandalas. Have you seen Rose? She's from the Philippines, Sidi Aki. She's been making dream catchers with these mandalas, and they are lovely. Absolutely gorgeous. If I remember, I'll put a link to her latest video where she's showing them off. Well done, Rose, they are lovely. That's a simple granny stitch one. The reason I like these mandalas is I do like the waistcoats, you know, done with the circle back. So I thought, well, these might give me ideas for that as well. And the next one is also a really heavy book called Modern Crochet Mandalas. Does it say who it's by? Doesn't say who. Oh, by the editors of Interweave. So that's it. Again, it's another book full of the mandalas. And once again, I'm not going to show you everyone. There's just so many. I mean, they're mandalas, you can make them, as I say, for the centre part of a waistcoat at the back. You can make them for a table centre, depending on what colour of yarn you choose. You could even make them for round cushion covers, couldn't you, or anything like that, besides dream catchers and things. So, you know, there's lots of things. That's quite an unusual one, isn't it? Makes your eyes go a bit funny. I have actually got some embroidery frames that I bought ages ago to make mandalas, but never got around to it, of course. My road is full of good intentions that never come anywhere. But it's a very thick book, that one. Both of those came from Amazon, but you can get them in any other bookstore. I have ordered another. I ordered it from Amazon in September, and it said I kept saying it wasn't there, it wasn't there. If I wanted it, buy it by Kindle, is it, or something, and I wanted a proper book. So I changed my mind, cancelled that order off Amazon because it still had no date to be arriving. And I ordered it off Waterstones because they had it in. And guess what? That's not turned up yet. I'll show you that, but when it does eventually turn up. It's Christmas though, isn't it? And all the mail's backed up and everything like that. So, I don't know. I'm not sure if or when, if Christina or... I know Kelly won't be coming because the boys are off school now. Sue, I don't know, because if she gets snow up where she lives, she can't get out. I think I've told you before, she slides down to the main road, and if she can't stop at the bottom, she will be in the main road. So, you know, it's kind of... I don't know whether I'll see anybody before Christmas. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. It all depends on the weather. So I thought, well, I better make a video since I've been getting like prods and hints. Have we missed a video? No, you haven't missed a video because I haven't made one. I am feeling a little bit better today because it wasn't raining when I got up first of all, but it started now. I'm not too bad when I've got something to get up for, something to do. I don't know when I'll get Gigi again, because it's Christmas weekend too, people have finished work and stuff. I did have him last night because his parents went to see a live performance of Vivaldi or something or other, I don't know, not very well up with classical music. But they said it was very, very good, so that's the main thing, isn't it? And they went out for a meal beforehand, so they were out from like 4 o'clock until about 11, so that's why I had little Gigi, who promptly stopped me from crocheting and knitting because he wanted to cuddle. And of course I fall for him every time when he just looks at me with those little eyes, and I just say, come here then. Pick him up, wrap him in a shawl or a blanket or whatever, and then he goes to sleep. I'm a real mug, I don't think they do that with him at home. In fact, I'm sure they don't. But I'm just such a softie with animals. You know, I do watch sometimes these animal programs where dogs get rescued and that, and it really upsets me. I want to take them all home. I'm sure lots of you feel that way. I want to adopt kittens, I want to adopt the dogs, I want to adopt everything, you know. But there's no point. No point, and I still haven't made a decision on whether I'm going to get a cat or not. Or 2 cats, I should say. I don't want 1 cat. But I'm not going to bother anyway before Christmas, because if catteries and doggeries have got any sense, they don't let anybody have them round about this time of year. Because, you know, they're not Christmas presents, are they? They're for life. You have to make a... That's why I'm thinking about a decision, because it's something that you are stuck with once you've made this decision. And I don't mean that in a nasty way. I don't mean stuck with as you don't want them. I mean that they are a commitment. It's like having a baby, really, isn't it? You know, you have to think about whether this child's going to fit in with your life and things like that. Well, you have to think the same about your pet. Because if you get a younger pet, they can live, what, 10, 15 years, you know. Some cats, even my first late cat, he was, what, about 18 or 19, I think, when he died. So you've got to think carefully before you go into animals, really, aren't you? They're not just a pet for like a month or 2 till you get bored with them. So I think they're right, the animal centres, not to rehome animals, you know, at Christmas, unless they know that they're going to a responsible home that's had animals before. I mean, I would never, ever buy a present for a child, you know, because children get bored. After 5 minutes they don't want it, and then it's left to mum and dad to walk the dog and look after it because the kid's bored with it and wandered off. So I would never buy one of them for a pet for a birthday or Christmas, never. Unless I was absolutely sure that was what they absolutely wanted and I knew they would take care of it. Yeah. I'm still waiting. I'm surprised my son's not got another dog yet. He's a very dog person. I mean, he still has got the 1 dog, but he's a very dog person. Partially because we never had a dog when he was growing up. He always wanted a dog, but because we both worked, I just didn't think it was fair on an animal that you should leave it on its own all day. I mean, you can't expect them to be cleaning the toilet department if you leave them on their own for 8 hours, because they have their potty needs, don't they, you know. And also they get terribly bored when they're in the house on their own, which is how come I look after Gigi when his parents are working, because he just gets fed up on his own all day in the house, you know. Whereas here, at least I'm coming and going and doing things. He's got things to do. Anyway, I don't know whether I'll be making another video before Christmas. I hope I will. I hope I will. You know, if anybody comes to visit me, then I will get the camera out. And if nobody comes to visit me, then I'll still get the camera out, hopefully, before Christmas. But I won't be very productive in things I can show you because I'm working on Christmas presents, you know. And I'm never quite sure who watches the video, so I don't want to show what I'm doing. Except to say that I've stopped with one of them because I've run out of yarn. So I am hoping and praying that my order from Ice makes it through the Christmas whatever and gets here on time. And my other niece's sweater, I'm so slow with it, slow progress with my knitting. I'm going to dedicate today, I've got to do it, even if it hurts my shoulders, I've got to do it today. I've got to get my head stuck in my knitting and get going with it. You know, because it's beginning to be that thing in the corner of the room that we're not talking about, you know, the massive elephant in the room that I keep going, why didn't I think to crochet it? Why did I want to knit it, you know? I mean, I do actually enjoy knitting, it's just it doesn't agree with me. And I really, really don't want sore shoulders for Christmas. But, you know, don't to be all misery sat there in the corner going. Still, anyway, I think I've said enough for today. I know it's not that very much of a long video, but I'm not feeling very excitable. I'm not excited about Christmas in the least. I will be when Christmas arrives because of course I get to see my great niece and nephew, I get to see them open the presents and things like that. But apart from that, once Christmas dinner's over and that, I'm thinking, let me go home, let me watch Call the Midwife, you know, I want to watch that too. Oh dear. So I should catch you before Christmas, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, have a nice holiday. I'm not going to be browbeaten into the fact I can't say Merry Christmas because, or Happy Christmas, because I can say it. And I'm positive that none of my friends who are not Christian or whatever you want to say are not offended in the least by my wishing them a Happy Christmas, because a lot of them wish me a Happy Christmas, even though they don't celebrate it. So I refuse to say I'm going to offend anybody by saying Merry Christmas, because I'm sure I'm not. You all know me. Would I offend you? Intentionally, would I, honestly? So whatever holidays you are celebrating, I wish you joy. And of course, peace. That's what we want, isn't it, for 2018? Peace. More understanding in the world. That's where it all comes from, all this sort of hatred and things like that. Because people don't understand, or don't want to understand. You know, there's a lot of people who annoy me, but I don't hate anybody. You know, you do say, oh, I hate this, or I hate that, but you don't actually really mean it. It's like when you say, oh, I hate curry, because I do, don't like it at all. But when you say I hate curry, you don't mean you hate curry. You mean you don't like eating it, you know. I mean, I don't hate anybody's religion. I don't hate anybody in the world. Some people I don't understand, I must admit. Don't understand why they do certain things. But it's a bit of a strong word to say you hate somebody. You might hate a situation, you know, you might hate what's going on in the world, you know. But to hate a person, I think, no. Because you don't know that person. No matter how much you don't like their beliefs, you think they're misguided, you know, think whatever they're thinking is wrong. You can't actually say you hate them. Well, I can't anyway. So that's what I'm hoping for 2018, is more peace and more understanding. And less arguments, petty squabbles, big squabbles that lead to war. Let's live amongst each other. We all do in the crochet community anyway. We don't cause drama, we don't cause rows. We're all peace-loving people in the crochet community. So why can't the rest of the world be like us? I'm going to go now. So, oops, I've got my big winter boots on so I don't slip. Got them out of hibernation. Bye for now. Have a nice day.